Okay, let's get started. It's almost 12:01. So welcome Monday. Um, I don't know why Monday even matters, right? It's just a concept, the idea of it's the beginning of the week. But I know for me, I've usually pretty busy weekends, and I'm noticing more and more that I wish Monday were my actual Sunday. So I'm trying to figure that out so I get a little more rest. But mindfulness Monday. I just wanted to sort of jump into this theme right here. So when we look at this picture, we see the Eiffel Tower. I don't know how many of you have actually ever been there in person or seen it in person. Not that that particularly matters in this point. I think it's such an iconic image that we all sort of somehow know. And I just want you to notice how immediately just even viewing this image or me making the suggestion to focus that energy on the Eiffel Tower probably wasn't necessarily in your, in sort of the field of vision of your mind this morning. So I'm guessing had I not shown you this picture at 12:01, most of you would not have been thinking about the Eiffel Tower. And yet now that we look at this picture, there's something about it that captures our attention. And so I think there's this interesting truth about our attention and our mind, which is like the habit of spending nearly every waking moment lost in thought leaves us at the mercy of whatever our thoughts happen to be. In this case, Ollie showed up at 12:01 and showed you a picture of the Eiffel Tower. And unbeknownst to you, let's say 5 or 10 minutes ago, suddenly your attention goes there and it becomes a topic for your mind to interact with. And that's true for pretty much every thought that we have. It just appears. We're not sure where it comes from, but it kind of, captures our attention. And so the idea of cultivating mindfulness is as a way of breaking this spell of being at the mercy of whatever our mind happens to attach to because thoughts appear. There's a freedom in that. And so I'd love to focus on just the noticing component today of what's it like to notice that our mind fixates or focuses or attaches to certain thoughts. And we call this process mindfulness. So it's a state of awareness where we pay deliberate attention. And the key here in both of these, active awareness and deliberate attention, is that we're choosing to do so. So in most cases, like when I showed you the picture of the Eiffel Tower, it just happens. But in this case, we're saying that, okay, that, I may have been introduced or I may have been subject to something being presented to me or my mind, but I'm going to choose where I focus my attention. Hope that makes sense. And we do so in the present moment and without judgment. So, um, sorry about that. So let's try that. Let's practice. We'll start by closing our eyes. And speaking of the present moment, notice right here, right now, focus your attention on the present moment. How do you know that it's the present moment? So in this moment, what are you sensing? Like, where's your body? And how do you know that the body is where it is? It's because our sensations tell us that it's there. So we can feel our feet on the ground. We can feel the sensation of sitting in the chair. We can feel breath coming and going. And today, I really want to focus on sounds. See if you can become aware of sounds that the mind is witnessing. And it could be as simple as just noticing the sound of my voice. It can also be sounds around you, so sounds in the room that you're in, sounds that you notice are coming from outside of the building that you're in. Sounds that you are noticing from the body. So maybe breath passing through your nostrils and your throat into your lungs. The other day, I experienced some indigestion and I noticed all kinds of sounds coming from my belly. My guess is that your relationship to the sounds is one of simply noticing the sounds, meaning we don't take responsibility for sounds. The kids playing in the park across the street, or the dogs barking, or the refrigerator making its sounds. Like, I know I'm not making those sounds. I know these are things that I'm experiencing. These are sensations that are happening, and I'm witnessing them. See if you can connect with that relationship to sounds around you right now. They're happening, and we're witnessing. A big part of mindfulness is being able to distinguish between those two experiences. So, one is noticing the sounds, they're out there and they're happening. Don't control them. The dogs bark when they bark, the kids cry when they cry, the cars drive by when they drive by, and it just happens. And then there's another part of me that gets to witness that. I get to witness myself experiencing the car driving by or the dog barking. And they're different. We might call those two different parts of ourselves the experiencing self and then the witnessing self. If that distinction resonates for you, see if you can just drop into that experience of noticing these two different parts, one part experiencing, the other part witnessing the experience. And even if you're in a pretty quiet place, if you really pay attention, you can hear sort of a background hum. Sound is always happening in the ears. Again, the goal here is just to notice what it's like to focus our attention on just bearing witness to the sounds that the ears are picking up. And even when it's mostly quiet, there's always something we can hear. Just becoming aware of the sounds out there. Again, dogs barking, cars driving, airplanes flying overhead. Just noticing the process of what it's like to hear. We know plane flying overhead is just making sounds. It's not me. I'm I'm witnessing something happening out there. I'll suggest that the same applies to our thoughts. They're just out there, just like sounds, just like smells, just like sensations. They don't define us. They are simply experiences that we bear witness to. And staying attentive to the sound, go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Same with the sound of the exhale. And then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A deep inhale, noticing the sound. Long exhale. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. Quick reminder, one of the things I think we do quite well at CIT clinics, the one insurance carrier that we um, can help patients with is the VA. So if you know any veterans in your life that are struggling or might need support, put them in contact with us. We can probably help. And other than that, I'll stick around for a few more minutes if anyone wants to chat, and this was helpful. Take care, everyone. Good practice.